Be a team player. In life and in business, it is absolutely critical. It's Monday, August 10th. Let's go. This is Money Tree. All right. So I wanted to, the focus of our channel so far has been on the individual actions that you can take in terms of growing your money tree, right? And so, individual things that you can take, individual actions that you can take, individual thinking that you need to adapt. Basically, we've been focused on the individual. But as we all know, it takes a village. Nobody makes it completely by themselves. I don't care what anybody tells you. And so the importance of building teams, having a reliable team is critical, critical, critical in business. It is critical in business and it's critical to growing your money tree, right? So one of the most important things that one of the most important teams that you build in life is good relationships with other people, as I've discussed before, right? But furthermore, expounding on that, when you own a business, whether you are a small business owner or you're leading a team within a corporate world or non-corporate world, being a good leader is important, and being a good team member is important as well. So making sure that you're contributing as much as anybody, or if not more than anybody else, right? Sharing your ideas, giving other people recognition when they do good work, right? Praising your fellow team members, holding your other team members accountable, being open to constructive criticism, right? These are all important things about being part of a team. Not taking your take again, being open to constructive criticism, not taking yourself too seriously, and not taking things too personally, and understand that when feedback comes back to us, it's coming from a good place most of the time, right? It's in the intent is for us to grow, and so part of that is all part of being a good team player, and in the team of life, in the sport in the game of life, you've got to be a good team player in as well, right? Which means fostering relationships with people, fostering good relationships. It means that being a person who has humility and being able to, the person who provides help to others, just as much as you may ask for help from others, right? And so one of the key skill sets that we develop as individuals, right, is I think as we grow, we realize what our individual talents are, right? We know what our individual strengths are. We also know where there's areas of opportunity. And I would argue that one of the things in life is that anytime that you're asked to contribute, to help out, one of the big things that you quickly learn is that, especially as you're trying to grow a business, one of the things that you learn is that some of the things that bring the most value to you and most knowledge to you as you're trying to grow your business and grow your organization are team events that you participate in that may not have a monetary value attached to it. Participating in a charity event, participating in some type of team building event, participating in a volunteering event. Because when you participate in things that you're doing in service to others, you actually get to meet other people. You may actually get to build connections, and you actually get to establish new relationships, which, as I've said in my videos before, is the most valuable currency that you have. Not the amount of money in your bank account, not the amount of money in your business account. Your ability to establish and grow relationships with other people is the most valuable asset that we have as individuals. And so part of that part of that asset is building teams, right? And and in order to grow your money tree, one of the best ways to do that is to be somebody who initiates the building of teams, right? And so when opportunity arises to when you're asked in your religious in your religious congregation asked who wants to volunteer to lead a team, that despite the fact that you're not being paid, leading a team in that context, I shouldn't say despite, leading a team within that context can lead to a lot of spiritual growth. It can lead to a lot of personal growth. But most importantly, you serve your community, right? Um, and serving your community is one of the best ways to grow your money tree. It really is. Establishing a relationship, establishing yourself as somebody who's dependable, reliable, and somebody who's truly out for the greater good of others, right? That is really the key. The key to growing your money tree is not to focus on the money. The key to growing your money tree is to focusing those assets and those skills that you have that will foster that activities that will produce money. Do you see this? Do you see the distinction there? The key is focusing on activities that will foster relationships, because the more relationships you have, the greater connections that you have, the money will come anyway. That's just how it's going to happen. The more activities that you do towards team building, towards developing other people, growing other people, will produce you that money that you're seeking, right? It's no coincidence that the wealthiest people on earth, most of them, in fact, if you ask more, if you ask, I'm sure if we sit down with some of the wealthiest people on earth, and those who have been interviewed, when they're asked, what was your entire motive for starting your business? It was never about the money. It was about a particular problem that they wanted to solve, a particular issue that they wanted to solve. And so they went out and built teams of people to help them get these solutions in place, right? So be a team player. If you're asked to step up, do your part as a good citizen, as a team player. Be a good leader. Recognize the talents and skills and abilities that others have, and hold those who are not living up to their potential, hold them accountable, because that's what a good leader does. But really, your ability to build and foster teams is essential and critical to growing your money tree. And the teams, everything starts at home, with your own family. Build a good team environment where you work together towards a goal, and as a family, you and your spouse and your children, you work together to build that future. If there are no children, you and your partner are working together as a team to build that future, which then translates into, at work and in your business, working as a team to achieve the objectives, making sure that the team members feel seen, feel valued, and feel appreciated, while also making sure that you're holding those team members to a high standard of achievement and attainment, right? And that is really the key and the magic. And the last part of this is building cohesiveness within a team, making sure that people know each other, not on a too personal of a level, but people can relate to each other in some way. If people like each other, that's even better, because it's easier to work with people that you like. But in life, you don't always get to work with people that you like, right? And you can build productive teams with people that you don't maybe not personally like, but who have the assets and the skills and abilities that you're looking for to succeed. And focusing on your ability to work together on those aspects, on those strengths that they bring, can build a cohesiveness, can build a cohesiveness within the team, can generate ideas and lead to the growth of the business and lead to the growth of the team, which will lead to the growth of revenue and growth of profits, which is the ultimate goal. Be a good team builder, be a good team player, and you will see your money tree grow. Thank you so much for tuning in for this money tree moment. Over and out. Till next time, take care.